surprised, first of all?
I don't think actually anybody was surprised. In fact, I've been on this show predicting that, about 2 months ago, predicting that he hadn't got long to live. So I was 2 months out on that. And but the surprise is, first of all, the modus operandi. It's a very strange way to get rid of a potential rival or a potential power base. There are plenty of ways of poisoning a guy or doing it by stealth and distancing yourself from the crime. And this was a very performative assassination. It was... there are two theories about how it went. It could have been a bomb on the plane, or it could have been shot down because it was quite close to a Russian air defense base. Shooting down would be crazy. I mean, quite literally crazy. You don't. Even in desperate times, you don't shoot down your own, your own planes over your own country. And expect to get away with it. So we'll have to see how that goes, and then we can test Sergei Markov's assumption that no rational leader would do this. So I think he's onto something there. I don't think Sergei Markov is perfectly all right, I suppose, that Putin is rational anymore. And I think that's the undercurrent. I mean, it's if you read, the British press and so on today, it makes it sound like it's a mafia vendetta, and that requires a spectacular, humiliating assassination, plus, heads of favourite racehorses chopped into your bed and, all that kind of stuff. And this could qualify. But more concerningly is the irrationality of all this and whether this now distinguishes the way that the war is being run. And if it is, should we worry about it? Because, madmen can escalate in the places that we don't expect.
Is it possible, we've seen Putin this week has sent some of his military generals on short holidays and he's, keeps shaking it. Is it possible that someone else has done this in Russia without Putin knowing?
I don't think so. Certainly not if it was using air defense base. Then even the military has to somehow consort with the political leadership. A bomb in a suitcase placed in the airplane would suggest that the Wagner guys who would normally guard Prigozhin's airplane were taken out or misled or bribed or something. And that's why it does seem to me a likely explanation for why this plane came crashing down to Earth. But it still doesn't solve this whole problem of why to do it like this.
And this isn't the first time that he's died in a plane crash. This has happened before when it was reported that he would.
We can't exclude that. He has at least two planes. One of the weird things about this whole conflict is Putin has at least three body doubles. One of whom was on display recently, looking at the wrong hand to see what the time was. And then realizing that he's right-handed, not left-handed, and this kind of stuff. And this kind of deception. I would guess most war leaders probably do this. I would guess that Churchill probably had dummy planes. And there was even a movie made about it. I seem to remember about a Churchill double. So sure. But who could be as ugly as Prigozhin?
And we should, not just physically, but his, what he did is pretty ugly as well. We shouldn't, he's the victim in this and the fact that he's been brought down, but he's a nasty piece of work as well.
Yeah, you bet. Yeah. I mean, he's brutalized this war right from the beginning, which is, I think, a good, I think it's quite a good call to say that Ukrainians didn't do this, even though your Sergei Markov seems to think that Ukrainians did it. or could have done it. Why would they do that? Yeah, it just doesn't make any kind of logical sense. Why destroy a rival to Putin? And it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
But there are plenty of people who hate him.